battery is about dead, but I wanted to show you real quick. This is my late planted beans, and they have brassicas in here as well. I have radishes and turnips mostly. So I came in here in July. I had a failed buckwheat plot because it got annihilated by the deer. So I disked, and then I got the 2-row planter that Kurt bought. We tested it. So we planted this plot just to test it to make sure everything worked good for next year. I planted 14-inch rows. It was a 28-inch planter, but I staggered the rows, or I overlapped them halfway, whatever you want to call it. That was done on the 4th of July weekend. It's now October 4th, 90 days of growth. And I just took the fence down a week ago. This was all fenced in, or we would have nothing but dirt. We have too many deer here and they're starving to death, but we'll take care of that hopefully this winter or this fall. So I came in here, let's see here, the end of July. So a month after I planted the soybeans, I came in here and I broadcasted the turnips and the radishes. And I'll show you the growth we have on the beans. Gee whiz. I do have some nodules on there, look at that. So we'll get some nitrogen. Well, that's weird. Now where's my J root? I thought because I was an idiot and planting like Grandpa did and plowing and disking it, I'd have J roots and compaction and nothing would ever work and my food plots would fail and my worms would die. Oh well, maybe it's coming, I guess. But for now, I guess I'll enjoy the food plot and my hobby of farming. So we have a nice soybean plant here. Lots of green foliage since it's only been 90 days. The bean pods are growing, but I don't know how far they'll make it, if they'll produce a full pod or not, depending on when we get our first frost. We are due any day here in Zone 5, Western PA, just north of 80. So half of an acre. We have plenty of other options for the deer. Right on the other side of this sorghum, we have the early planted, regularly timed planted soybeans, 3.5 acres. They're not eating those as much, they're turning yellow. An acre of white clover, just on the other side of this little knoll here. They are still hitting that, but not as much as this here. We have brassicas, solid brassicas over here against the woods. And over on this side, we have winter rye, winter wheat, and oats, followed by corn in the back. And right here to the left of all this, we have a half of an acre or more of the wild game sorghum. So we have plenty of options for them, but hands down, they are hitting the soybeans. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just showing you my results in case you are looking for something to do for some early bow season attraction when you're trying to compete with all of the acorns and apples and whatever else might be falling down. It wasn't planned and it ended up working. Next year, I'll talk to Kurt about it. I'm sure we'll definitely do this again because like I said, everything is coming right here. We have cameras everywhere. So I know there's a little 360 camera we put up over here so I can watch the clover and the brassicas. I can watch this and I can even watch all that down here. And they're right here eating the soybeans, and they are eating the brassicas. They're eating the turnips. They're loving this. It was a great idea. I'm glad I did it. And like I said, we may not have huge bean pod production, but it still did produce bean pods. So they'll have that later on this winter, which is the entire purpose of planting these food plots, is a late winter food source. I know late summer and late winter are the two biggest stress periods for the deer here in Western PA. Late summer is not really that bad. It gets dry, but nothing like down south where it's just everything's dried and dead, and we don't have it quite that bad up here. Late winter though, there is nothing to eat except dead leaves and twigs. The farmers' fields are plowed, or they're harvested. There's no corn, there's no beans, there's nothing. And if you have snow on the ground, you forget the clover, forget the oats, forget all this. The oats will be frozen off and dead. And so that won't work. Same with the rye and the wheat. It'll be just all shriveled up and compacted with snow. And all you're gonna be left with is your corn, your sorghum, these bean pods if they're above the snow, and that's it. And if they decide to kick the dirt or the snow and pull up a turnip bulb, then they'll have that as well. But all these little grains and everything else, yeah, they're easy to plant. It's easy to advertise it and sell it to people because you're gonna get a good green lush plot. But as soon as you start getting freezes and frosts and snow, you might as well just forget it. It's over with, it's done. The expensive things, the hard things to plant are the corn and the soybeans and the sorghum. It takes time and money, and it's not all just rainbows and butterflies and trying to make a buck off of you because it's an easy thing to grow and you know you're gonna get results. So a lot of people don't explain just how hard it is to grow all that. It's a lot of work. Timing has to be right. And it takes money as well. But when it comes to late winter, you know you're gonna have something besides just some grass laying on the ground under a foot of snow for them not to eat. So this is what I have here. I just wanna show you my results. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just showing you what I did, and maybe, I don't know, you'll give it a shot someday. I don't know, but I know we will next year. It turned out great. We'll have something that are out competing the acorns and the apples and whatever else. Like I said, the trail cameras are showing. They're absolutely loving this. They're tearing it up right now. Opening day's tomorrow. Good luck to everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.